All right, so let's just settle into our meditation posture. And I want to also make sure everyone can hear me okay. Can you all hear me okay? Yeah? Okay, good. Someone said this morning they couldn't. So it may be more about their phone or something. And there's Elizabeth, hi. Okay, Mary's done a thumbs up. She must be in her car or something. All right, okay, so let's just settle. And just feel, where are you at this evening? What's going on in the mind? What's bubbling up to the surface for you? What happened today? And check your body, your sitting position, particularly what you want to be, your sit bones to be raised, your back to be nice and long, shoulders aligned with the hips. Check your hands. And your ears aligned with your shoulders as much as you can. And just imagine our spine is a string of pearls of light stretching from the base all the way up through the crown of the head and beyond. So very gently lengthening your spine. And your head is slightly tipped forward and the eyes are down, looking along the length of the nose and the tip of the tongue on the roof of the mouth. Put some length in a little bit of length in the back of the neck. Relax the jaw. The lips are slightly apart. And let's just release and relax the scalp at the crown of the head, the forehead, the eyes, the nose, the cheeks, the area around the mouth, the jaw, back of the head, particularly around the occipital bone and the ears, the inner ear, the temples. Relax the back of the neck and release any tension there. And drop the shoulders down, the shoulder blades, the throat, the chest, the belly, limbs, hands, fingers, and feet and toes. And take a nice deep breath and just relax, settle into this position, but keep lengthening. Try not to slump. And if you do have any kind of surface behind you, whether it's a wall or the back of a chair, try and not lean into that surface. Just as much as you can, hold yourself up. And of course, if you're injured or you're not feeling well, you just do what you can to be comfortable. But for everybody else, if you're feeling fit and fine, it's best not to be just relaxing into the back of the chair. So this way, all the energy in the body, including the breath, the prana, can move easily through when you're sitting straight. So bring the mind to the breath and notice the sensation of the air as you're inhaling and exhaling, slightly warmer as you're exhaling. And if there are any sounds in your environment, someone in your home, your pets, if you can hear something outside, just allow those sounds to be there. Try not to engage. And then notice your mind again. Has anything shifted since we first settled? Just a few minutes ago. And again, just notice what's arising, what's bubbling to the surface today without judgment. Because you might notice if we do this every day, it changes. Some days it's one thing, the next, all of a sudden, you're no longer thinking about that, something else is arising. Just notice what's there. Try and put some space in between your thoughts. And breathe. And just allow them to flow. So try not to engage, get involved with the story or judge. You're just sitting on this riverbank, watching that river of mental moments flow on by. And you're sitting there as an objective observer, just noticing what's there without judgment, without opinions, just noticing how interesting that is. And while you're doing that, you'll notice you're free, you're not engaged, you're not involved, you're not being swept away. You're just sitting there noticing. And then bring to mind all these people of our life, our loved ones, our family, our friends, our colleagues, these people that we support in our lives, who support us, who've got our back, who we try to protect and take care of, and who do the same for us. And then there's all those people in our life who we have a bit of difficulty with. Maybe we would prefer they weren't in our life, but due to karma, they are. And then there's those strangers moving in and out of our lives fleetingly. People in the grocery store, on the street, the workman we see maybe once. And we put all our attention focus on our loved ones, our friends. That's the people that we really think about the most. But everyone's deserving of our concern equally, really, because everyone wants to be happy. Everybody wants to be free from suffering. Everybody actually has this incredible capacity for this enlightened mind. Even those people we don't like, surprisingly enough. And for the people we don't like, there's always someone who loves them. They have a mother somewhere, a sister, a friend. We just have this karma with them. So let's think we'll do this meditation for all these people of our life. And by extension, all sentient beings. And given that there's a lot of people coming down with COVID, having COVID, let's think about those people as well. Do this meditation for them. And again, if there's someone in your life who probably would benefit from doing this practice and who wouldn't be interested in turning up, just imagine them sitting by your side. You can do the practice for them. Imagine them there. So there is no negativity that cannot be purified. And this purification process is basically a psychological one. We create negativity with our mind. So tonight we'll create positivity with our mind instead. So the first of the 4 opponent powers is the power of regret. So sincerely regret from the depths of your heart anything you have done to harm any living being on this day, in this life, and in all past lives. And you can think of specific actions of both your body and your speech. So, each night you could think of a different one. We've probably all done things. As we get older, it gets a bit overwhelming. So just maybe think of 1 or 2 things. And the reason to regret is based on this logic of karma. So having harmed others, we're going to suffer in the future. So as we understand all about suffering, maybe we don't want to create any more. So therefore, it makes sense to pull out those negative seeds before they ripen in the future as suffering for us. So think like this. I regret from the depths of my heart having harmed others with my body and my speech, having broken my vows, because I do not want the future suffering. I'm sick of suffering, and also regret any anger and attachment and the rest that are the cause of why we harm others, and think, I'm sick of this suffering. Then think, what can I do about it? Whom can I turn to? So here we come to the power of reliance. And we rely upon, we turn to the Buddha, the doctor, who has the methods that we can use to purify. And we're not asking Vajrasattva to forgive us. We're purifying ourselves by relying upon his methods so we can heal ourselves using his methods. So you can imagine Vajrasattva above the crown of your head. You can also imagine this as your teacher, your spiritual teacher, your guide, manifesting in this form, this particular form, for your benefit. So you can imagine he's made of radiant, blissful white light. You're sitting cross-legged on a white lotus and a moon cushion. And this lotus, although born out of mud, is untainted by that mud, just like our enlightened potential. born out of our delusions, but yet untainted by them, and has this radiant, beautiful face. His eyes are long and peaceful and full of love and compassion for us. And he has a sweet red mouth. His hair is black and held up in a top knot. His arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right. The left is holding a bell representing wisdom, and the right is holding a vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion. Their being crossed represents the union of these two, and this symbolizes enlightenment, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. So we have this little section on compassion. So compassion is wishing others to be free from suffering, not wanting them to suffer. So in order to develop compassion, we need to rely upon other beings. So the beings we have harmed. So bring someone to mind that you may have harmed and develop compassion for them, a wish for them to not suffer. And then there's those who've harmed us, and although a little bit more difficult, we have compassion for them because the suffering we've caused you is going to bring them suffering in the future at a time that may be unexpected and unwanted. So have compassion for them for that, and make a strong aspiration to do this practice of purification for the sake of all these sentient beings, and think, I must purify for their sake. So now we come to the power of the remedy, and this is the medicine of doing the actual practice of purification. So it just means we are going to be doing, with this medicine, we'll be using visualization and imagining nectar and light and mantra recitation together. So first we start with the body, and Vajrasattva is very compassionately sending powerful white nectar, like coming out of a hose, very forcefully from his heart. And it arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely. And it keeps pouring into you until it forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you have ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky liquid. And this pours out of you and disappears into space, not one atom left, as we recite the mantra. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dira mebawa sutokaya mebawa supokaya mebawa Anarakta mebawa savasiti mepi yatsa sawa kama sita me Sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramame mutta vajrabhava mahasamaya sattva aham pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dira mebawa sutokaya mebawa supokaya mebawa Anarakta meboa savasiti mepi yatsa sawa kama sita me Sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramame mutta vajrabhava mahasamaya sattva aham pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dira meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa savasiti mepi yatsa sawa kama sita me Sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramame mutta vajrabhava mahasamaya sattva aham pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dira meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa savasiti mepi yatsa sawa kama sita me Sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramame mutta vajrabhava mahasamaya sattva aham pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dira meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa savasiti mepi yatsa sawa kama sita me Sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramame mutta vajrabhava mahasamaya sattva aham pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dira meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa savasiti mepi yatsa sawa kama sita me Sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramame mutta vajrabhava mahasamaya sattva aham pe. So be delighted that all the harm you've ever done to any sentient being with your body is now completely purified, and think there's no way you could do anything but benefit others now with your body. And the next is the purification of your speech. And again, Vajrasattva very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra, And it arcs around and forcefully enters your crown, filling your entire body, except this time forcing up to the top of your body all the negativity of your speech. And this overflows and disappears into space, not one atom left. So you can just imagine all the gossip and the harsh speech and the useless speech and lying, talking badly about others behind their backs. All this is purified by this powerful nectar filling you as you recite the mantra. Vajrasattva Samaya Manubalaya Vajrasattva Dino Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawa Siddhi Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Siddham Shriyam Guruhum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva A Hom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dino Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawa Siddhi Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva A Hom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawa Siddhi Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva A Hom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawa Siddhi Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva A Hom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawa Siddhi Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva A Hom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawa Siddhi Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva A Hom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawa Siddhi Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva A Hom Pe. So again, feel so happy that your speech is now completely purified, and imagine that it's not possible to do anything other than benefit others now with your speech. And the next is a purification of the mind. And Vajrasattva now very compassionately sends powerful beams of light from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and enters your crown and fills your entire being. So it's just the same as when you walk into a pitch black room and you switch on a light, that light instantly dispels the darkness. So it's the same here. Just imagine the minute, the second, the light from Vajrasattva's heart touches your heart, all the darkness of the negativity of your mind is instantly dispelled. So all the depression and attachment and neediness and anger and grasping and resentment and jealousy and bitterness and grudges and disappointments, all of this gone with this light and this mantra. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawa Siddhi Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva A Hom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawa Siddhi Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva A Hom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama zita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita Duda meboa sutokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama zita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan Sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita Duda meboa sutokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita Duda meboa sutokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita Duda meboa sutokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe. So again, be delighted. All your delusions, which are the source of all your suffering, the cause of, for each of us, why we all harm others with our body and our speech, they're totally gone, finished. And think there's no space in your heart now for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. So next is a purification of the imprints of negativity of the body, speech, and mind. So again, if you wish, you can imagine light and nectar pouring into you. And as you do this, you can either recite a couple of mantras each for the body and of the speech and of the mind, using the visualizations that we've just done. Or you can imagine light and nectar just pouring into you, filling you completely and eradicating even the subtlest imprints of negative energy from your mind as you recite the mantra. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita Duda meboa sutokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita Duda meboa sutokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita Duda meboa sutokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita Duda meboa sutokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita Duda meboa sutokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita Duda meboa sutokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita Duda meboa sutokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta me bawa sawa sidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sudam driyam kuruhum ha ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame matsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe. So now feel you're completely purified. Not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to omniscience have been removed. So next is the power of resolve. This is the fourth and final step in the purification process. So again, rejoice in your efforts coming night after night after night. It's kind of amazing, your dedication and your commitment to yourself and to your own healing and to taking care of yourselves and to nurturing yourselves, which is what we're doing here really. And also rejoice in the efforts you've been making to sort of get on top of some of those habits that are harmful for yourself and others. And then think of something you would like to work on that you have been working on. And you just make an aspiration to completely get on top of it, to stop it, from refrain from it. Just make a decision, whether it's talking about other people behind their back, whether it's swearing at people or shouting, whether it's stepping on flies and mosquitoes, or just whatever it is that's harmful to others and to yourself. And that includes negative self-talk. So I think I'm just going to refrain from this and give yourselves a reasonable timeline, 30 seconds, 5 minutes, overnight, whatever works. And make a decision. This is what I'm going to do. And this determination to not do again is what gives us the strength to change. So imagine now Guru Vajrasattva is delighted with us and wanting to merge with your mind. He melts into light and absorbs into you through your crown. And think, my Guru's body, speech, and mind, Vajrasattva's body, speech, and mind, and my own body, speech, and mind are the same thing. LAMA YESHE had a word for this, and he called it 2 words, union, oneness. And next, Rinpoche recommends to meditate on the emptiness of the 3 circles. In emptiness, there is no I, the creator of negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma, and there is no negative karma created. So at whatever level you understand emptiness, place your mind there for a little while. So we can think of all phenomena as being empty. They do not exist from their own side. And you can also think that perhaps the way things appear to me may not be actually the way they exist. So let's just dedicate all the merit, all the positive energy we've created this evening doing this purification together to all living beings, and think, may all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. And for His Holiness the Dalai Lama, the wish-granting, wish-fulfilling jewel, source of every single benefit and happiness in this world, to the incomparably kind Tenzin Gyatso, I beseech, may all your holy wishes be spontaneously fulfilled. And for Lama Zopa Rinpoche, Tub Shul Chang Jin Jam Gan Galloway, Tenzin Kyong Pelaway, Kunzo Dog Porze, Chog Sum Gurway Legmon to Drub. Padag sog dulje gondu jab ten shuk. Lama Ursel, Venerable One, to you whose kindness exceeds that of all the conquerors, for those wanderers in far-off places, especially the West, mindful of your loving concern for us in intentionally descending again into a family of a far distant land, we make this request. O Lama, please, please live long. And Vakeshe share a beloved teacher leading your students toward wisdom and compassion, explaining through exacting discernment the steps of the graduated path. You are the unequal guide. Please live a long and stable life. So here we are, gone like a dream, another day. Sleep well, everybody. Lots of love, sweet dreams, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Thank you very much for hosting, Shayla. Okay, bye-bye, everyone.
Thank you, Venerable.